Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog coming in on usually a Wealth Wednesday, but this week we decided to be generous and bring Mr. Hard Money Ron to everybody. I wanted you guys to be able to introduce yourselves and learn what hard money is because sometimes we think these titles are different and difficult, and I want to break that down. So, if it's your first time here to the channel, my name is Erica Williams, the Classy Climb blog, author of Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand. And I would love you to introduce yourself to the audience. Come
Sure,
on
sure.
through.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, Erica, thank you for having me and sharing your platform with your lovely audience. My name is Rod Standback, of course. So I'm from Philadelphia, currently living in Maryland, and I'm a hard money lender. So for those who aren't familiar, a hard money lender is someone who provides capital to real estate investors. So I like to say we are an alternative to traditional banks and mortgage brokers. We're a lot faster, less documents, and we get the job done. A good one anyway. So I found hard money as a real estate investor. So I started out as a real estate investor back in 2008, 2009 market crash. I bought my first properties. They were stolen. I didn't know how to properly acquire properties at the time, so no title companies were used. Like I said, I found they were stolen, risked about all the money I had at that time. So after that experience, I said, listen, I need to go get a mentor and learn how to do this the right way. So went and did that. And, that guy was a hard money lender. So that was my introduction into hard money and piqued my interest. And here I am. So
I like it. I like it. So everybody, drop your city and state in the chat. We already got people going Philly, DMV in the chat already.
that's,
I respect it for sure. Um, so a lot of times I named the title of this video "Become Your Own Bank" because so many people are like, "Oh man, they hear these catchy phrases: "Become your own bank, make your own money, get 20% returns on your notes." And most people know me talking about tax liens and different things, but hard money is something where people are like, "What is hard money?" Is hard money this fancy term, this insurance product? Break down like the definition of hard money, if you could.
So hard money, people don't realize it's just an extension of private money, because hard money is capital that doesn't come from your standard institutions, like, the typical banks, the Wells Fargo's, Bank of America's, and other places where you would typically get financing, so hard money, again, is for exclusively for business purposes or non-owner occupied loans. So if you're going to reside there personally, hard money is not the solution for you. You need to go contact a traditional mortgage broker or banker. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. So you guys, so that's something, I just wanted to break over that hurdle because so many people were question mark, what's hard money when I posted several pictures the past couple of weeks. So I wanted to break down that mysteriousness, right? Because a lot of times people go, well, how much is the interest rates? And I go, well,
Yeah.
hard money is usually a year to 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's a temporary thing. It's not a 15-year mortgage. It's not a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
So, um, so when you, because I was going to show your Instagram in a second here, but what are some of the current projects you're working on and how did you meet those folks?
So, I mean, we have a lot of deals in the pipeline. So you're talking about from a lending perspective, right?
Right, from a lending perspective.
All right. So we generate a lot of our business from repeat business and referrals, which I think is the strongest, way, it's the strongest foundation, the best way to build your business. But outside of that, I've been blessed enough to find a pretty good name. So Flip Funding, we get a lot of organic business, like from search engines, because people have flips and they're just looking for funding. So they put in Flip Funding and we pop up a lot of times that way. So we get deal flow nationwide from that. Or just like I said, reputation. So I've been lending since 2013. It wasn't always great, because I didn't really, the guy I got introduced to the business by, he didn't really teach me the industry. So I took all the bumps and bruises, but, developed a good reputation. So people either hear about me or, they've used me before. And that's where I got a lot of these deals that we're currently working on. Another thing is that a lot of people don't realize with interest rates rising, a lot of lenders have shut down their doors, already, because they've been priced out of the market. So we're
Mm-hmm.
getting a lot of business from, other lenders who are shut down and people are just seeking alternative options. Um, So, that's where the deal flow is coming from, currently. But some of the good, cool deals that we're working on, we actually have in the project. It's a 28 unit apartment complex that we're working on in Atlanta, that we just actually funded, and that investor is breaking ground on that project as well. Um, we have another deal that we just actually started processing today. It's in California. It's a single family, but the values are, they're pretty
It's
high.
California.
Yeah. So they got this property. It's I think it's in San Bernardino, and this has like a major rehab. So it's a single family, but they got it for a great deal. They got it for like 500,000 somehow, but it was in shambles. So it needs like a million, in rehab. And a lot of people won't touch any projects, whereas though the rehab amount exceeds the purchase price. But one difference about me is that I'm an investor first, so I don't just look at things from what's supposed to be on paper. I look at the actual numbers. For me, I'm more concerned with the deal being profitable for the borrower, because if they're not going to make a profit, then everybody's just wasting their time.
So a big thing I'm trying to get people over the hurdle is one, being familiar with definitions, two, being putting a face to what is hard money, right? Because people think, what is that? It's some hedge fund somewhere. No, it's real people like you out here working hard, talking to people, creating relationships. And so when it comes to new construction, right? I've been talking a lot on the channel about new construction. Do you do it new construction, or you do mostly with flips?
The majority of our business is fix and flips and long-term rentals, but we do offer ground-up construction. I would say about 10% of our business is ground-up construction, and it's growing annually because it's
Mhm.
becoming more popular, as you know. Inventory has been tight over the last few years, so a lot of people have been creating inventory. So the ground up is definitely becoming more popular, and I see it really taking off, over the next several years.
So the funny thing, the other day, I was talking to somebody about new construction, and they're like, "Oh, we're about to go into recession." And they came here and they saw all these new apartments here in Austin, Texas, because I'm in Austin, Texas. And so we're breaking ground everywhere you drive. Every 2 minutes, you're like, boom, 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 new construction. And and so part of what I want people to understand is like when they're like, "Oh, there's a recession," I'm like, "Recession for who?"
Right.
It's a recession for the non-builders. It's a recession for the non-productive. It's a recession for the non people taking action.
Yeah.
There's not that much of a recession going on.
No, people don't understand. I mean, people make money in every economy, and you make a lot more money in down economies, or what's quote unquote called a bad economy or a recession. So when I got involved in real estate, it was during the Great Recession of 2008, or whatever, the Great Recession during 2008, 2009, and I made my best purchases. I still own the majority of those properties that I purchased during that time. And of course, the appreciation went through the roof. Obviously the cash flow and everything is insane, because I bought those properties um, for, pennies on the dollar. My first two, I bought two for 10,000, two for $10,000. So,
I love it. I love it. And so a big thing, I'm going to show them your Instagram because I like how you have you laid it out here shortly.
thank you.
A big thing is time. Time is of the essence for real estate, right? And so a banker might take 30 days, 45 days to close your stuff. What's your typical closing time frame for people with hard money?
About 2 weeks. So it typically depends on the appraiser. And the way we work is we try to work with local appraisers that we have rapport with, that either we do or you do, or you do. So if we're in, let's say, you get a loan, Erica, and we're in the Austin market. I've done some loans there, but I don't have a go-to appraiser there. So I'll ask you if you have someone that you've done business with that has performed pretty well that we can utilize, because we know that they can execute, and they'll get us that report back fast as possible, so that we can ensure you a quick turnaround time for that loan. So to answer your question, it's taking about 2 weeks on average right now. It's fast as 10 days, but about 2 weeks on average, to set the proper expectation.
And so, the next question people have is like, what about credit? My credit ain't great, but I got a great deal. What are some things you tell investors in new real estate, newbies about their credit and about their deals?
So credit is considered, but it's not a deal killer if your credit isn't as strong as you like it to be. So we can do a loan as low as a 600 credit score. But
Mhm.
if you have a 580 or a
Mhm.
400, 200 don't matter, you know,
400.
because the beauty about real estate investment is that it's not all about you. This is not your
Mhm.
traditional loan where we're underwriting. We want to know everything about you, get your left arm and everything. This is more about the deal. So as long as the deal again is profitable, we get creative. So if my credit isn't bad, isn't in good shape, I know Erica. And maybe
Mhm.
she don't want to partner with me on this deal, and
Mhm.
maybe she don't even want a percentage, but she's willing to help me out and help me get approved for that loan just to see me thrive or whatever. So
Right.
you can always use family members, friends, or anybody else that does have a credit score to qualify for the loan.
I tell people a lot on this channel. I'm like, assets matter.
Yes.
Assets matter. Like the what is the value of the asset? What does it look like? Where is it at? Like I've seen people be like, "Hey, I got this deal," and it'd be in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and you see, you be like, "What in the world?" But it's assets matter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show them this because you also teach this. You also teach people about how to do hard money, how to lend hard money, and so I'm gonna show them their page here. Everybody,
Right.
can you see the screen? Drop a one if you can see the screen. I want to make sure everybody's seeing that right there. He's got the shoulder pose, okay? Over the shoulder. Nah.
I look good.
uh,
Yeah, here I gotta get a new headshot.
hey, listen, it still works. That's you. We see you. And so you guys, I definitely want you guys to check him out online. He's got the hard money, right? So if you slide through, you guys, you see a lot of his stuff as he talks about how this one right here caught my attention. I said 26,000 per month. Every month without having to deal with tenants? How so? How is that possible?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, sorry.
Yeah, so it's a thing called, people don't realize that you can make monthly income as a lender or even a hard money broker as well. So there's something called yield spread or yield spread premium. So
Mhm,
let's say that I have a capital source or I raise money from someone, I get money at 8%. I
mhm,
can turn around and lend out that money to a real estate investor at 10%. So there's a 2% yield spread. Let's say, and it's the same example I think I have in this in that
in the
scenario there.
clip? Okay.
Yeah, in the clip. So let's say that the loan amount was 500,000.
Mhm.
Now we have 500,000. 2% of 500,000 is 10,000. Hold on, I think. Am I right? It's
You
10,000.
guys bust out the calculators in the audience. 500,000 at, you said at 2%?
Yeah, 2%. I believe that's 10,000.
Alright, y'all drop it out there. 500,000 at 2%. Y'all do the math. Tell us what the math is.
I believe it's
Give
10,000.
them give 'em a 30-second delay. It take a minute, but 500,000 at 2%. Y'all drop it in the comments for us. Help us out here. We on the fly. No calculators, no phones, just doing
I believe it's.
it.
I'm good. I'm good with numbers, but the later in the day, I get my brain a little foggy. You know what I mean? So I
It's
might need
okay.
some.
Listen, I'm over here hitting this coffee.
Uh,
Look, William Smith said you right. He already said you right.
okay.
John did it. Thank you, John. John said $10,000.
Yeah.
You already
So
know.
that's the potential yield spread that you would make on that transaction, but you don't get that in one lump sum. They
Hmm.
pay monthly. So you take that 10,000, you divide it by 12,
Hmm.
and that would get you. I'm not gonna wait for y'all on that one. Let me say.
10,000 divided by 12. I think is what, $800.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I wanted to
I'm
be.
giving you rough. I'm giving the rough throw out there. 10,000 divided by 12 months, y'all. Throw it in the chat. Listen, it's a 30-second delay on YouTube, some of this stuff. So it's cracks me up, but I like it.
I believe it's 800.
Yeah.
Every time I try to do this and I'm not sharp with my head, it takes forever. All right. So 10,000 divided by 12. Yeah, it's about eight, So yeah, so
Look, they in the chat too. They're like, boom, eight
yeah,
times
I'm
three.
different with this. So that's what you would make per month on that transaction.
Hmm.
But if you figure, you do 50 loans like that, throughout the course of the year, you multiply that 833 times 50, then that'll give you what? Like
I
that'll
like
get
it.
then yeah, you'll make 41, 41,600 and some change per month, on that, given if you make an average of 2% spread on average of $500,000 loan, then you potentially make 41,000 and some change each and every month just in yield spread.
Right. So he said, just so y'all, we don't lose y'all. I know we doing throwing numbers out here, but he
Yep.
said basically 833, right? We did that. 833 times what you said, 50 loans?
Yep. Times 50.
50 loans. Boom. That's 41,000. Look, John on it, man. John's right about on it. So
That's
listen, you guys. So it's just easy math here. 2%, right? So how would you get to 50 loans? Would it be like you started out one a month? Two, how do you build that traction? How do you build a capital business like this where you're basically the lender?
Yeah. So I mean, you got to start small. I mean, everybody had different goals. So the way I would do it, I would start with the end goal. So whatever your goal is for the year, let's say you wanted to make 200,
Hmm.
right? Plus you charge the fees and stuff, John. So let's say
Thank you,
that
John.
you want 200 deals, for the year. You break that down, and 200, and then you break it down by quarter. So every quarter, you know that you need to have 50 deals done. And if you break it down by, then you break it down by the month. So if you need 50 deals done every quarter, then y'all tearing me up with these numbers and stuff here. Um, so it's
It's okay. I like it. Look, I bought my phone. I busted my other phone out. You know, the one that's on airplane mode. So you say you do 50 deals every quarter. So
yeah.
let's say that means you do what, 200 deals a year?
Yeah, yep. So that's the
Two.
end goal to do 200 per year. And if
Uh-huh.
you want, so you break it down, I'll say, all right, 200 per year. So that means I need to do 50 per quarter. It's four
Hmm.
quarters in a year. So it's 50 deals per quarter. So each month, it's what, four? It's 3 months in a quarter. So
Hmm.
50 divided by three is 25. It's like, so here we
That's
go.
16, almost 17 deals a month.
Yeah, 16, 17 per month. Break it
Hmm.
down per week. That would be about 4 deals or something per week. So you say, okay, how would we uh, get able to close four or something deals per week? We know it's all a numbers game. So,
Right.
you know, my ratio is we close about 10% of the leads that, 10% of the leads we get, we convert into borrowers.
Hmm.
So, if we needed to be, four and some change per month, I mean per week, that means we need to get at least like 40 some applications. Now the way I would do that, obviously you have to reach, real estate investors. So, you think of where real estate investors congregate at.
Hmm.
You have places like Bigger Pockets. That's a
Yep.
website where all real estate investors go.
Man, about a million people, 1.2 million at this point, right?
Yeah, yep. So
Yeah.
that's a quick way to find people. You have Facebook groups. You have Facebook groups concentrated for real estate investors. So I would join those groups, and promote your services. There are always people out there. There's hard money, private money groups. There are people that's come in single handedly saying, "I need money." So if
Hmm.
you're monitoring those uh, those sites, I mean those groups, then you can potentially win that business. So I mean I try to focus on ways, that don't cost, to generate leads first. And then,
Hmm.
after we explore all those options, then we can get into ads and everything else. But, I've built up over the years a email database too. So, we have cool products that we get or anything like that, always keep in touch and stay top of mind with uh, my database that way.
My biggest thing I tell people is, not that it's rare to find people who want to, like, hey, I want to do real estate. That's not rare. There's a lot of people who want to do real estate, but when you start getting some of these groups and circles, it's very quick. It's like, hey, this guy's doing projects. He's looking for money. This guy's doing projects. He's looking for money. It doesn't become as rare. What is rare is sometimes the money, right? I live in
Yes.
Austin, Texas, and we have 3,000 capital companies, but they're all different things, right? Like there's one company that just does semi trucks, right? I remember talking to the guy. He's like, yeah, we gave out 50,000 loans in semi truck loans, right? I
Yeah.
talked to this one company, they did nothing but trailer parks. So they had loans for just for trailer parks. So this isn't some weird concept, y'all. This is a real thing where people actually go, hey, I want to use this money I have to make more money. How do I do that? Right. And so I wanted to bring on somebody that just like, I liked how you've been using Instagram, how you've been like walking properties. And so I really like that, right? Because I think
Right.
this is how we started. This is how we talk to people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And and thank you. I appreciate that, Erica. Like, and so a little background, like this hasn't been easy for me because I'm comfortable behind the scenes. That was
Mhm.
my thing, and 6 months ago, I mean, I would have been stuttering, I mean, sweating bullets right now and everything, because that camera was it was fearful for me. But I understand that there's not many of us, many people that look like us in this industry, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of misconceptions. People think that you need to be rich, or you can only get involved with lending money if you have a network of affluent people to raise money from. Well,
Right.
I didn't, when I first got started, I was born in the projects and stuff, so I didn't have the resources, but you know, this is something that I wanted to do. So I committed to it. I figured it out, and I felt as though it was important for me to put the message out there to let our people know that this is possible. You know, because there's no schools, there's no trainings or anything else anywhere
Mm-hmm.
else to learn this information, and I'm starting to think it was intentional. Because
For
people
sure.
just yeah. So I felt as though I got in. I learned, I figured it out, and it's my duty to provide this information.
Okay, love this photo. Love it. Too
Thank
cute. Love it. They in there. They living the dream. And now they up there. I love it, y'all. Just anytime
you.
people put the kids on there, be like, all right, you got me. You got me. so, so, how, and this is part of two, like, how many conferences have you been going to this year?
Well, this year I've only been to two so far.
I'm setting it up like that for a reason because so many people think, oh man, I gotta run around and market myself all day, and I go, this is a new age, y'all. You ain't got to do it like that. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I've been to two. I've been to Him 500s, um, is it recession proof or something? Yeah,
Hmm.
recession proof extreme, and that was a really great experience. But that experience, that like really, um, it sparked a flame. It sparked a flame in me. So like it was so beautiful. I mean, I saw so many of us,
Hmm.
all similar mindsets, great energy, the networking. It was just a beautiful thing. So after that experience, I knew I needed to go to Invest Fest, which is where we, finally met face
Yeah.
to face. And I mean, that just blew me away. That was even better. So like I'm on a high right now. I'm trying to hit up every event and connect with all the beautiful people out there. Yeah, I can't get enough of good people. So.
I tell people like a year of your life going to conferences and events will change your whole life.
Yeah.
You'll learn one thing at one conference and you'll see some of the same people sometimes flowing in a group somewhere, like you'll see them at this one and then FigCon and then this. And so again, the reason I asked him how many conferences he went to, y'all, is because he's doing this from the laptop.
Yeah.
He's doing this from the internet. He's doing this via Bigger Pockets. Use these platforms. Don't let them use you. If you're gonna be on Facebook, make it make money for you. Some stuff we can enjoy, but like let's do a combination here. So that's part of why I was just bringing that up because I was like, some people think, oh man, I'm about to be out here running around at different events, and that's just not true. So again, look at his Instagram page. Look how he's strategically put this up here. But you also teach a school. Am I not? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right?
Yep, you're absolutely correct. Yep. So I just launched Hard Money University
Mm-hmm.
this year, where I teach people how to get involved in the lending industry. Whether
Mm-hmm.
as a broker or a direct lender.
Gotcha. Again, you guys, check some of this stuff out. I love it when people are out here. Sorry, let me make sure it's muted. So you're out here showing, if you guys can see it on the screen, showing a 12 buildings being constructed.
Yeah.
Each home's worth $400,000, y'all. Y'all got to do the math on that. It's on the screen, so just in case they didn't see it. But yeah, it's a lot of opportunity out there for people to learn. Like there's no reason people are like, oh, no one told me how to do this. What are some one of the coolest projects you've so far lended to?
Uh, well,
That
let
you
me
can
see.
disclose, be careful in these streets. No.
So I mean, the majority of the projects that we lend on is like 1 to 4 units,
Mhm.
and we do like multi-family. We can do it all, but the majority of our projects are like 1 to 4 units. And like I said, we've definitely done some good ground up projects. Majority of them actually in Atlanta. We have like a big clientele in Atlanta. That's where we do our biggest projects at. That's where we're doing that 28 unit now. We 50 unit in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Now the thing is, a lot of times though, there's a lot of cool projects, but I don't get to see the cool aspects of it, because I'm
You're doing
just,
the numbers.
Yeah, you know, what I mean? I'm just doing the loans and stuff, so I don't really get to see the transformations and stuff like that. I can, you know, because I can dig into the before and after pictures from the appraisal, and then once everything's done, you know, we see those pictures. But I don't really get, you know, emotionally attached to a lot of these
Right.
projects because, like, I'm just looking at the paper, running numbers, and my team is like really handling everything now. So unfortunately, I'm like hands off from the other fun aspect of the
Hmm.
business, you know. And that's one part that I don't enjoy. Like I enjoy speaking with people, you know, building those relationships and being, you know, in tune with the actual project, you know. So now I'm not I don't work on loans myself. So, you know,
Hmm.
I'm kind of detached from that and it does suck. Yeah.
Good, good, good. I like it. So you're in Philly, right?
No,
Right now.
I'm in Maryland. Yeah, I'm in
Maryland.
Maryland.
Okay, I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Maryland, y'all. You know how y'all get sensitive when you say, somebody the wrong city up there. I've been scared of the Philadelphia Eagles to this day. I went to a Baltimore Raven game. And I'm like, these people is rough. Now,
Oh yeah.
so you're in Maryland.
Yeah.
What are some of the future you see for it's for yourself, your company in that region?
Um for and so me in the Maryland region, when I think about myself, it's more from an investment perspective. So
Hmm.
I like Baltimore. I don't live in Baltimore. I live in Owings Mills, it's, outside of Baltimore. But
Right.
I like Baltimore because I feel like it's a little behind Philadelphia. So I can clearly remember about 10 years ago, it was a woman, she moved from DC to Philly. And
Hmm.
she was just excited. She like, I know what's going on. Trust me. You know, I saw what happened in my neighborhood.
Yep.
Philly is a little behind, so I'm taking advantage. You know, and I'm like, okay, you know. So, and she said it, and you know, I believed her. But I mean, everything is transpired now. I've literally seen it happen now. I mean, now to the point where it's though Philly is like gone. You know, it's really moving on
It's
a
a
development
flip
side.
fast city.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
flip
for
fast.
about 5 years, I'd be like, people like, "Yeah, I got some flips in Philly." I'd be like, that's all I ever heard out of people. "I got flips in Philly." I'd be like, "What's going on up there?" But, people need to relocate, right? People leaving DC, then
Yeah,
people leaving New York coming down for somewhere cheaper, so that's I understand it.
yeah. But like Baltimore, I mean, so that it's a bit behind. It feels like to me when I'm riding around Baltimore, it feels like nostalgia from about 20 years ago in Philly.
Right.
So I can see the transformation. Like in my neighborhood that I grew up in, it's been gentrified. You have $500,000 to $1 million houses and stuff now, and I'm sick every time I ride through there because I wasn't able to take advantage of it. I was a bit too young, but I did take advantage of other areas. But I really see an opportunity to capitalize off of the Baltimore market. So that's where I've kind of focused my investment business. As far as lending, um, so for what I foresee is just stepping it up a notch. So my current model is we fund the deals in house and then I sell them to third party investors, and
Mhm.
they're called like aggregators. They package the loan up and sell it on Wall Street as securities. And
Mhm.
I like that model because it's less risk for me. I don't have to hold on to a loan and worry about if it defaults or anything like that. I still get the yield spread and I get my origination. I'm pretty much done. Even though
Yeah.
we manage the loan, but I don't have the risk of holding them. But
Mhm.
complete transparency, that thing has it kind of blew up in my face. Honestly, so
Yeah.
two times. So, and during the pandemic, when it first hit, capital markets shut down, and
Mhm.
everybody closed their doors for a minute because it was so uncertain. It was so much uncertainty. Nobody knew the direction real estate was going to go. So scary. And as a result of them closing their doors, the investors that I usually sell my loans to, they shut down. So I was shut down basically.
Mhm.
I didn't like that. So my business, couldn't, take advantage of the opportunity for a second at that time. So that was strike one.
Mhm.
Strike two is now. So I told you my model is selling loans. So
Yeah.
the investor that we typically sell loans to, right before they were supposed to, we had just funded about $5 million in loans,
Mhm.
and they committed to buy them, but the interest rate shot up, like the night before, and then they
Yeah.
backed because our interest rates were too low. It was lower than they were comfortable with for their current appetite after the Feds
Right.
increased the rate. And so now we're holding on to $5 million in loans that I anticipated to be sold. And the worst part about it for me is, um, some of them were rehab projects. So I still have about $2.5 million that I have to fund and and
Yeah.
pay off of that because I already got paid because the loan closed,
Uh-huh.
so it kind of like backfired for me. But you can look at it like, man, why did this happen? Like, and be down and out, but you have to be solution, oriented. So, me, I'm looking at it like a blessing in disguise. And I'm looking at it as, God and the universe, giving me the kick up the ass that I needed in order to take more control over my business and hold the loans. So that's what I'm going to do for all short-term loans moving forward. I'm going to go on an aggressive capital raise and hold all loans so I can provide a better experience for my borrowers,
Right.
not be affected by outside factors and institutions, and just be able to execute.
Yeah. You see, that's the thing. I tell people, um, the changes in the market, whoo, it took some people out of trucking, it took people out of different markets, it took people out of real estate, but
Yeah.
that's where you have to be prepared. You can't just go, well, I got this one thing that always works. I ain't never be worried about it. You
Mm-mm.
got to be prepared because we got some bumps on the road. And so my biggest thing is to get people's heads wrapped around hard money. Prime example, I'm working on a project in Florida, and like I did some of the initial, the groundwork, the tests, the architects, the deal to get you started before you get the framing, before you
Right.
get that good cement down, foundation. And and then they funded the rest. And so, but they also do it in blocks, but we'll talk about that another way.
Yeah.
And so my biggest thing I tell people is like, if you got a deal, somebody's got money. If you got an
Oh yeah.
asset, somebody's got money. If you have an ideal or a plan of what you're trying to do, somebody has money. And so
Yeah.
many people tell me, "Oh, I'm waiting till I save up money. I'm waiting till I get these credit cards. I'm waiting till I get this cat." I'm like, "Baby, there's a man down the street. You come over here and tell him, "Hey, I got this house." He'll
Yeah.
find you some money. You know what I mean? Like, as much as we make fun of Robert Kiyosaki, it is like, "Hey, do you have a deal?" Yes, if you got a deal, somebody has the money.
That's true. Especially now, like stocks have tanked, crypto tank. Even though these are great opportunities to get involved, a lot of people are
Mhm.
scared, and they don't want to try those investments. So if you have a good idea or a good business plan strategy, like Erica said, the opportunities are endless. It's up to you. Now is the time. It'll never be the perfect time. So now is the perfect time to get started.
For sure, for sure. So, what is something, you have the hard money school, people can learn from you.
Mhm.
What are what are some ways that people can kind of educate themselves on loans and for hard money? Is there a way they could educate themselves before taking your class, or should they take your class? What are some things you're suggesting for folks?
I mean, you should definitely take my class if you're interested in hard money, but
For
I
sure.
wouldn't say start there, because there is
Mhm.
a cost, and you want to first figure out if this is something that you would like to do. So you need to get educated
Mhm.
and informed about the opportunity. So first, I would say, because the thing is, I don't really know. You can go to YouTube, but it's not much
Mhm.
information, on
Yep.
this industry. So what I would say is I do have like an automated webinar, and this is not really trying to be any self promotion, but this is something that's free that you can really tap into to learn,
Mhm.
get more insight on the industry, the opportunity, and everything. I do have an automated webinar that they can check. If you go to my Instagram, um, Erica just had it up, a rod_hard money.
Mhm.
Thanks, John.
Listen, classy climbers are where people come to look for opportunities, look for ways to grow. We have a good set of people. Let me click over back. This is here right here. If y'all want to
Yep,
learn more, click right here.
yep. Click my link tree, and I have an automated webinar in there. You can check it out and learn more about the opportunity. I try to give all the information. I give receipts for everything that I'm saying. I'm not one of these guys that are just saying things with no type of concrete,
Documentation.
documentation to back it up. So this is no fluff. It's give you the good, the bad, the ugly, everything with it, so that you can make an informed decision. Um, Again, you can try YouTube. I'm not sure how much information you would find there because it's very limited information on this industry out there.
I tell people a lot of YouTube is like, hey, how can I make some quick money? How can I flip a car? How can I do that? And I'm like, the stuff that people kind of think I say sometimes is boring or long and educated or long winded. They skip over, and I go, that's perfect for you. If
Yeah,
somebody's skipping over the good long conversations, that's perfect. Better
that's
for you. By the time everybody's like, "Yeah, you should rent a car on Torino," it's already the wave has passed. You know what I mean? Somebody
Yeah.
said they love your transparency. I just want you to see that. Like,
Thank you,
it's
DJ
good stuff out
Cal.
here. Like again, he's like, "Here's the free webinar before you even start coming over here spending some money." Let me look.
Because I don't want no problems. I don't want to take your money if this isn't for you. Because I
Mhm.
understand that's going to be more headaches for me on the back end. So no, I want you to get educated and really don't move forward unless you feel like this is the opportunity for you and you're going to put in the work to see the results.
For sure, you guys. And I'm going to also email this out to our list. We have 16,000 classy climbers on our email list that we will send this out to. We'll make sure to send his link to his Instagram page and also send out this video because we want more people to watch it. Listen, y'all. John said, here's a question for you. Thank you for the $2 super chat, John. John's like your second one tonight. Congrats, John. He said, do you ever take an equity piece of the deal?
Sometimes, I don't promote it through Flip Funding or Hard Money University, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm still a real estate investor at the end of the day. So, like Erica said, if it's an opportunity that makes sense, then I would consider it. Yeah, but I primarily focus on debt. But that's with Flip Funding. But me personally, yes, I do. Invest in equity positions.
Also, DJ Cadillac said, what about commercial real estate?
Yes, yep. So DJ Cadillac, again, I'll be upfront and honest and tell you that that's not my sweet spot. But we are able to do it. Now, it depends on the asset type that you're referring to as well, because I mentioned we funded a 28 unit property. We just funded a 50 unit property for multifamily. So that's considered commercial as well. But if you're talking like warehouses, retail, we do a lot of mixed use commercial, but we do, we do some commercial, but it's pretty selective. But I can get anything done. I have the resources, but I'm talking about like in-house funding.
Gotcha. So you guys, again, like bring your questions. I'm not gonna keep him here all day because he got them kids to play with now. But I love, I love when you bring the raw data, the raw information, because a lot of people they want better, they want to know the next level, and I want them to be connected. That's the part of why I created the Classy Climate so people can connect to people who know things like yourself. And I always tell people jokingly, man, you go on bigger pockets, you got a million people on there, but you got maybe 50,000 really doing it every day, right? That are serious about it.
Yeah.
Some people may just become lenders because that's easier.
Mhm.
I live in Austin, Texas, where we have, engineers making 200,000, 300,000 a year. They don't have time or the mental bandwidth to flip but they may have the mental bandwidth to invest.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people there's levels to this.
Yeah. And so that's why this is, like you said, this is another avenue for people to get involved in. If you might try your hand at real estate and it didn't work out, or you might not have that down payment just yet. This is a way that you get involved, build up your money, and then invest in real estate or whatever. It's just alternative option. But
For sure. So you have deals, a lot of deal flow in Atlanta right now. What about Florida and Texas? Are you going to start looking in
yeah,
Florida and Texas?
we do a lot of business in Florida. We're doing something in Killeen right now.
Colleen down the street from me.
Killeen, Dallas. What is it? I'm thinking it's not nice. It's near Houston. It's not nice, Texas. It's called
Katy, Texas, Nacogdoches,
no.
Pearland, Sugarland.
I can't think of it right now.
We got a lot out here in Texas.
Yeah,
They come up with these crazy names.
everything's big in Texas. Yeah, I got to get down there. But yeah, no, I love Texas. We get a lot of it because it's several. I mean, there's so many investors out of Florida and
Hmm.
Texas. We don't really market there. We get a lot of business from down there.
They making money out here. We got big cowboy hats, oil fields. We just out here take this money. People
Yeah,
out here having a good time. I'll say that. If you work construction, build homes, y'all, welcome to Texas and Florida. I mean, if you even have like in Dallas, we have a lot of Detroit men out there who can build. Like they left Detroit because they have construction knowledge. They
mhm.
never without work in Dallas.
Wow.
So yeah, but anyway, tell us some things. Tell us 3 tips we should be aware of for the rest of the year, as far as like interest rates, or just what you see coming, or what you think people should be looking out for.
Yes. Oh, so that's a great one. So I would say expect interest rates to continue to increase.
Hmm.
Prepare for the worst. That's number one. Expect interest rates to increase. Now, of course, the purpose of the interest rates increasing is to minimize the risk of a recession. But we've had it great for several years, y'all. So I mean, I wouldn't doubt that a recession is pending. So
Hmm.
knowing that fact, even if it's coming, regard if it's not coming or whether it's not coming, you still want to be prepared, for any potential opportunities that may, present itself. So if you don't have it, if you're not liquid now, try to do whatever you can to get liquid. If you have any equity in the property, you might want to refinance just to try to, have some capital and prepare for opportunities that may present itself. If you don't have any money, and I know Erica always telling you guys, different ways to invest. So I hope you've been investing the way she,
Hmm.
has suggested, and you should have be able to tap into those investments and get some liquidity to take advantage of different opportunities. But definitely try to get yourself in a position. If you don't have it, talk to your network, your friends, family, and see if they're interested. But the main thing is, like Erica said, previously in this call, just try to identify, just get started, y'all. Just get started and, try to find the opportunities. And once you identify the opportunities, the money, the investors will follow. And that'll put you in a position to make some money, to make more money at the same time. So that's number two. Number three, I would say, um, do your due diligence. So you guys know Erica. She's the one. It's like
I'm
she's
just
legit,
connecting people to the good times. I'm just connecting them.
genuine, transparent, and authentic. I mean, like, this is one source here. But there's a lot of people out there. You may be, like what they're saying, but do your due diligence, y'all, because there's a lot of people out here that they have the gift of gab. They
Yeah.
know how to market really well. They know how to speak really well, but they're not doing what they're saying that they're doing, and they're just trying to get over on you to make some money. So don't, so be cautious who and what you're buying into out here, because everything isn't what it seems. Just take your time. It's a marathon. It's not a race. You see us talking this finance stuff and building generational wealth. It's key and it's important, but it doesn't happen overnight. So
Yeah.
don't expect it to.
It's a process, man. And again, knowledge, information, you're just stacking it on with relationships.
Yeah,
Things get sticky sometimes in different markets, but if you keep going, that's my biggest thing I tell people, keep going. But
yeah.
yeah, thank you for the tips, man. We're going to chop some of this up and throw it on Instagram here.
Thank
But
you.
tell them everywhere they can find you on the internets.
So on the internet, you can find me on Instagram, ride underscore hard money. TikTok, same thing. I'm ride underscore hard money on all platforms. So you can find me there. If you're interested in a loan for an investment project, you can visit flipfunding.com to learn more
Mhm.
about our loan services. If you're interested in exploring becoming a lender or a broker, you can visit hardmoneyuniversity.com or check out the webinar, the automated webinar in my link tree, and contact us with any questions.
For sure, for sure. And how do you like TikTok so far? Everybody be talking about, yeah, TikTok. I'd be like, oh
It's,
no.
it's too much for me. I mean, honestly, it's rough. But I have some interns that they're supposed to be helping me with that. I mean, for me, social media in general is overwhelming because I'm
Right.
running, my businesses and stuff during the day, so I have to make time for that. And
Hmm.
honestly, I hate the pressure. Especially Instagram. These algorithms, you got to
Yep.
post, multiple times a day, and I just, it's a lot. So I'm just doing what I can, y'all. That's it.
Listen, I tell people like this, I'm taking a break for 3 months off from August 25th to December 3rd. I'm gonna be like going out of the country. I'm gonna be running around. But a lot of this is already automated. You know what I mean? We already pre-recorded stuff. We already put stuff away for the future, we're letting it go. And so a lot of this stuff is like more, more, more. And I'm like, no, you don't have to keep doing more, more, more.
Yeah,
You can go live your life and just some of this so you can set it and forget it.
yeah. It
You
can
know?
get a little out of control. So I like that. I like what you just said. You have to live, and you have to live.
Yeah.
And I'm big on quality of life too. I don't think it's a good quality of life to be stressing about producing content every single
Man.
day. Yeah,
I used to make fun of people who batch content, like just do a bunch in one day. But
hmm
then I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So the past, like, I think 5 days, I didn't do any videos. I think I did one. But like, I literally enjoyed my company while he was here and went on. We went out of town. We went all over the place. I was like, peace out, you two. So anyway, long and the story short, thank you for your interview. I thank you for your time today. We'll talk more. We'll probably
yes,
do another little follow up because I have like I have like 50 investors, different people come with me to Panama City, Panama,
Mm.
down there looking at properties and Airbnbs. And then we'll probably have another group going to Belize in December or January. So there's a lot to come. And I've got a connection now with Canadians, about 20 Canadians. But that's a whole nother conversation for offline. So
No, I mean I'm interested. I'm always down for a trip, especially that's
sure.
killing two birds with one stone.
I
So
know we're gonna have a charter bus. We're gonna some developers down there are gonna take us to see properties from 150,000 to a million and see,
mm,
show us how Airbnb works and stuff like that and property management down there. So it's gonna be a good opportunity. We're gonna be on some rooftops having steaks, and then we're gonna see some properties and do a few things. So
no, that's cool.
we'll
Uh,
message more about it. I got your number. We'll talk.
yes, looking forward to it. Yeah, thank you for your time, for sharing your platform with me. It was a pleasure, and anything that I can be of use for, you can count me in for sure.
For sure. All right, you guys. Look, man, this is Erica Williams from the Classy Climb blog coming to you today with Rod from Hard Money. You guys can look him up online. We'll also have these links inside the video, inside the description, and at the comments pinned to the top. Listen, thank you so much for being here today. And I hope you guys run over and check his Instagram. And we got 2 more shows for today. We're doing a Crazy Wild Wednesday show. So have a good night, man. I'll reach out to you soon.
All right, thank you, Erica. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, later.
All right, later.